Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Today we are continuing to get near the finish here in Season 4 with just 4 regular season series left to go, and our Orioles a game behind the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League East. We're going to go up to the final series of the season today, which is 3 games at Toronto against the Blue Jays, possibly determining who wins the division. But we have to see what happens in these first 3 series for us and the Jays. We also still have to clinch a playoff spot. We should be able to do that in this episode. And I also briefly want to go over the minor league playoffs in just a moment. But first, here's a look at the numbers for all of our players. Not really a whole lot to talk about here other than Carmen Sixto, I guess, finally cooling off after like 2.5 months, which I figured it was bound to happen. His start to his career really was absurdly good, and now he is finally coming back down to earth. But he is still hitting over 300, hitting the ball real well. And other than that, not really a whole lot of notable stuff there. So let's briefly talk about the AA and AAA teams. We'll get back to the minor league playoffs later in the episode, but first I just want to recap the seasons for these two teams. The Norfolk Tides are doing really bad. We are 63-75, already out of the postseason. If you remember, the Tides won the AAA championship last year, but this roster has seen a lot of turmoil over the past year with a lot of players going up and down, and because of that, there hasn't really been a consistent lineup or rotation for the Norfolk Tides, and I think that's why they have kind of been struggling. It is worth noting that since being sent down, Matthew Thompson has really pitched poorly. His numbers are worse than they were in the majors, which is certainly pretty odd. Hopefully he can get his act together. The back-to-back AA champion Bowie Bay Sox, on the other hand, are playing really well. 77-39, having a great year. There has been a lot less turmoil in this lineup. That's not to say there hasn't been movement, but this team has been a lot more intact than the AAA roster, and I think that's one of the big reasons why this team could win their 3rd straight AA championship, which would be really cool. Again, not a whole lot to note here. Most of our elite prospects at this point are in the majors, who we've developed the past couple of years. That's not to say there aren't 8 potential prospects sprinkled through AA and AAA, but a large chunk of our farm system at the beginning of the series has developed into major league players. So let's go back to the major league team. We'll talk minor league playoffs later in the video. But first, we're going to simulate up to the final game of this Twins series. It is worth noting that the two-way player on the AA squad, Obi Yoshihito, will be out for the rest of the year with a shoulder injury. So we won the first 3 games against Minnesota, going for the sweep against a possible playoff team in the Twins, who do currently lead their division. So this would be a really big 4-game sweep here for our Baltimore Orioles to certainly give us some momentum in the push for a playoff spot and in the push for a division victory. So let's get this one underway. Not the greatest of weather conditions here at Camden Yards, but the show must go on. The Orioles are still not ahead of Toronto in the AL East because Toronto is red hot too, but Baltimore is currently the number 1 wild card in the American League if the season ended today. Here's a look at both lineups. Regular starters for the most part for both sides. The Orioles do have the rookie Shane Koleski in there, who has been struggling since his debut, only hitting around 182. Hopefully he picks it up. So here's John Means, who's pitched all right throughout the season, making his 20th start of the year, facing off against a young and talented Twins lineup with some veterans, including Gene Segura, who will rip a single into right center field, so that'll give Minnesota an early base runner with 1 away and a nice opportunity to really start off strong here in the first. Segura trying to steal second. The throw is not in time from Adley Rutschman. So Segura is now in scoring position. A nice opportunity for Miguel Sano to drive in the run, but that's not going to happen. Grounder over to third. Nice play by Kovaleski. The throw to Nick Castellanos, who's playing first base today, to get the out. Good first inning of work from Means and the crew as we go to the bottom of the first, looking at Brandon Waddle, who will be starting today for the Twins, making his 10th start of the year. A pair of lefties on the bump for both teams today, which should make things pretty interesting. Nick Castellanos hitting in the 3-hole today up to bat, and Castellanos will line this one into left field for a base hit, and the Orioles now the base runner aboard with 2 away. We'll see if Louis St. John, who's had a great month of September, can drive them in. He doesn't, but he keeps feeling alive, drawing a walk. So now 2-1 and 2 away here. That'll bring you up the first baseman, Carmen Sixto, who's playing DH today. Sixto grounds that one to third, so now makes the play to get out of the inning with no issues. Good work there by the Twins, and we go to the top of the second. Max Kepler, the big swing and miss on the fastball. Little lefty-on-lefty crime right there. Bottom 2 now. Jalen Miller hits this one high and deep in the left field, and this one is not coming back. Solo shot for the second baseman, or I guess shortstop now. Jalen Miller, his 16th home run of the year. I'm not used to him being the full-time shortstop because he is a second baseman in the game. Nonetheless, the Orioles will make it a 1-0 lead as the Yerminator, Yermin Mercedes, starting today for Adley Rutschman, who's getting the day off. Takes a big swing and a miss. Good way to end the inning for Waddle, but a good inning for the Orioles as they do drive in a run. The catcher, J.J. Schwartz, with a single into right field. The diving Castellanos is unable to make the grab. Johnny Parsons is now up. Lines this one past the glove of John Means. Bowman slow to get to it. Won't matter, as now there are 2 runners on, 1 away, and a big opportunity for Minnesota to get on the board and tie this one right back up. Gene Segura floats this one into left field. His second hit of the game. Schwartz headed home. The throw not in time. And the Minnesota Twins are going to tie this one at 1. So after scoring in the second inning, the Twins answer right back, but they're not going to get any more as Kepler grounds into a double play. Miller tags second, throws the out at first, but not a bad inning for the Twins as they do get one across to tie it at 1. Moving to the bottom of the third now, the Orioles try to retake this lead as the rookie Xavier Bowman is up first, leading off the inning, and Bowman crushes it into left field, gets the hanging pitch high and away, and he lets Waddle know. Xavier Bowman with his 4th home run of the season, all of which have come in the month of September. He has definitely improved his power throughout his short stint so far in the big leagues. It's now 2-1, but the Twins are going to answer right back. Miguel Sano with a home run into left field, and this game continues to be back and forth. Once one team scores, the other team answers right back. That's been the story of this ball game. The Twins want to do some more damage. Juan Moncada hits this one into foul territory, and it is caught! What a play out there and right by Heston Kjerstad. A diving play right in front of a wall. We got to look at this one again. This play might go on SportsCenter's top 10. Look at that play by Heston Kjerstad, not really known for his glove, but he got 99.4% of the route efficiency there. And speaking of Kjerstad, he leads off the bottom of the 4th inning, and he's going to do so with a bang. That one will bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. So the Orioles get a runner in scoring position with nobody out. A huge opportunity to capitalize and answer right back with a run. 2 on, 1 away for the Yerminator. Yermin Mercedes grounds this one to third. The Twins try to get 2, and they do. Great job by the Minnesota infield to get out of the inning unscathed. And this game will remain tied at 2. J.J. Schwartz looking to get his second base hit of the game. And indeed, another single into right field. Means' pitch count is only at 63. As long as he continues to pitch pretty well, I don't think the Orioles need to rush to make a pitching change, but he has not pitched as well the past couple of innings. Johnny Parson into the gap. That one will go for extra bases. Bowman has trouble fielding it. Schwartz headed home. The throw from the cutoff man, Shed Lawn, is not in time, so the Minnesota Twins will take the lead as it's now 3-2. The Twins trying to not let Baltimore get this sweep. Kovaleski at third of a really nice play to get out of the inning. But nonetheless, the Twins do drive in a run that could be it for John Means' performance. Bottom 5th, runner on, 1 out for Castellanos. This one is high and deep into center field, and it's gone! Nick Castellanos will make it a 4-3 ball game. His 39th home run of the season. And Nick Castellanos truly has played like an MVP candidate. He won the MVP last year with the Angels, and this year he's competing in the MVP race with Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon, both of whom ironically play for the Angels. Brandon Waddle's day is done. Reed Detmers is in. Last episode when the Orioles played the Twins, Reed Detmers came in as a long reliever and actually pitched really well, so we'll see if he can have another strong outing. And I suppose that merely was a good start, and they do get the out nonetheless. The second baseman, Luis Arias, bobbled it. Carmen Sixto still out at first, but a good inning as Castellanos drives in 2. Colin Poche enters here in the 6th inning for the Orioles. He's been Mr. Reliable out of the bullpen these past few seasons, really just continuing to be the model of consistency as he strikes out Max Kepler. Bottom 6 now, a liner into left field for Kovaleski, and that one is out of here. The 3rd overall pick in last year's draft, Shane Kovaleski out of the University of Miami, who quickly rose up the minors and is making an impact here in the big leagues. He has not hit the ball all that well, but he is hitting for pretty good power. Let's go to the 8th inning now. It remains 5-3. Julian Starnes is in for the Orioles, and their bullpen is just mowing down this Twins lineup. Arias grounds out to short. Poche, Amir Garrett in the 7th, and then Julian Starnes pretty much all had perfect innings. Bottom 8, Shane Kovaleski back up. Trevor Rosenthal is on the mound for Minnesota, and the Twins bullpen is also pitching pretty well. Rosenthal gets out of the inning with no harm done. So now we go to the 9th inning. The closer, Edwin Diaz, is in for the save and in for what would be a huge 4-game sweep. 1.6 ERA for Diaz, looking for save number 43, and that's not a great start, as that one will go into the right center gap for Minnesota. They have a runner in scoring position, and the tying run is up at the plate. A huge double there for Max Kepler, the German-born. So now that'll bring up Johan Camargo. 3-1 pitch. Looks at the inside sinker for ball 4. 2 on, 2 outs. Potential go-ahead run at the plate, and it's Kirilloff who swings and misses. Orioles win it 5-3, and they officially sweep the Minnesota Twins in a 4-game set. Ironic that when these two teams played in the ALCS last year, Minnesota went 4-0 in Baltimore. So I guess that's kind of revenge like a year later. Certainly a hard-fought battle. Our lineup was all right. We hit 4 home runs. The power was really good. Castellanos, Bowman, Kovaleski, and Miller all went deep, but the bullpen was the story here. Perfect innings from Poche, Garrett, and Starnes, and Edwin Diaz did what he needed to as well. So we're going to go to this Boston series now, but before we really talk about this Red Sox series, I do want to go over the start of the minor league playoffs. Obviously, the AAA team won't be participating, but the AA team will. We're going to kind of go out of order with the calendar, so we're going to be talking about the AA playoffs here towards the end of September, but we're going to do the Red Sox series, which is during the 23rd, 24th, and 25th afterwards. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to you guys. Hopefully it does. You'll see as the video goes on. So we lose the first 2 games against Altoona. Not a great start. The plan was for me to simcast all the elimination games, and if I feel the need to hop in, I will. So we need to go undefeated these next 3 games in order to keep our championship hopes alive. And as you can see by the scoreboard, we should be fine here in Game 3 as we lead this one 7-3. Had 3 runs in the first, 4 in the 6th. Will Brooks gets the save. So a good win as that brings us to Game 4. Kyron Baldwin, one of our 8 potential prospects on the mound. He's been great this year, but not today, allowing 3 runs in the 2nd inning. We're only down by 1, though, still keeping it competitive. Chet Ballard, however, allows 2, and now we're in a lot of trouble. We're only down by 2 now, but here in the top of the 9th, the former Oriole, Adrian Almeida, is in for the save, and he gets it. And the Bowie Bay Sox have very quickly been eliminated here out of the AA postseason, so they will not win 3 straight championships, and there will be a new AA champion. On the bright side, the Orioles won the first 2 games against the Red Sox. So if you've been counting at home, the Orioles are 6-0 today, trying to get their 2nd straight sweep against another team fighting for a playoff spot. If we win this game, we will officially clinch a playoff spot. We have to officially have a better record than Boston, fittingly, here in the wild card standings. And if we win one more game, or if they lose one more game, which could be today, then our Orioles could be back in the postseason for the 2nd straight season. So we'll see if Baltimore can complete another sweep and clinch that playoff spot. It's a packed house here on a Wednesday afternoon at Camden Yards. There's only one reason why it's packed. The fact that the Orioles could clinch a playoff spot today. That's why it's pretty much a sold-out crowd here in front of the Oriole faithful. One of the most passionate fan bases in baseball, trying to get that playoff spot as we look at both lineups. Again, regular starters for the most part here for both sides. Connor Seabold will be on the bump for Boston. He's been rotating in as a starter and as a long reliever. His 6th start of the season. He's been pretty mediocre, I would say, for the Red Sox as Shed Loin leads things off, gets a hanging pitch high and away in the zone, and he capitalizes. As Loin hits that one into right field, Alexander Palma, the 27-year-old out there on right, making his major league debut, is the one who fields that one, but nonetheless it is a double for Shed Lawn. That'll bring up Adley Rutschman, 3-2 pitch, and they're going to call that strike 3. That pitch did not look like it was in the zone, but I guess Angel Hernandez is behind the plate today, and that's the only rationale for that being a strike. Runner on third now, 2 away, 2-2 count for Nick Castellanos. And this one is hit over the head of Connor Seabold. Single into center field. The runner, Shed Lawn, will score, and the Baltimore Orioles will take a 1-0 lead. Let's take a look at today's starter for Baltimore, Framber Valdez, who of course was acquired in a midseason trade with the Houston Astros. He's pitched fairly well since being acquired from the Stros, and I think he's definitely a reliable guy to have in the postseason, but not reliable when he's allowing home runs just like that one. As that is Rhys Hoskins who goes deep, the big free agent signing with his 30th of the year. So far, he's been worth every penny they gave him this offseason as we are tied at 1. Tristan Casas now up. Little lefty on lefty here. So we get to see both of the Orioles left-handed starting pitchers today, which is kind of ironic. But nonetheless, the Red Sox tied at 1, courteous of Rhys Hoskins. Let's go bottom 2, Max Muncy up at the plate here for the Orioles. He checks his swing there. I don't think he went around, but that pitch did look like it was in the zone, so that's why it's a strike 3. Here's Alexander Palma. His first major league at-bat will be a walk, so pretty anticlimactic there, but nonetheless, he does reach base. We'll see if Boston is able to drive him in, as it's Ben Gamel up at the plate. Hits this one hard into center field for a single, so now 2-1, 2 outs for the meat of the Orioles lineup. A huge opportunity here at the plate for the number 3 hitter, Xander Bogaerts. And he will chase the curve, grounding that one to short. Miller flips it over to Lawn. Good way to end the inning for Baltimore. Pretty good start today for the most part for Framber Valdez. Now in the 4th inning, J.D. Martinez is up with 1 away. Singles into center field. Runner advancing to third as the Red Sox are going to try to take their first lead of the game. And they have a nice opportunity to do so. As long as this is not a ground ball, they should probably drive in the run. But there's one problem. It was a ground ball. But Shed Lawn bobbles it. Casas is safe at first. The Orioles are unable to turn the double play, and the Red Sox will, in fact, drive in the run. So they will make it 2-1. Bad defense there by Shed Lawn. You just can't have that. Wild pitch. Rutschman picks it up and throws out the runner at second. Adley Rutschman, part-time ball player, full-time sniper. What a throw behind the plate by Rutschman, but still not ideal circumstances, and the Orioles lineup is really struggling right now. Louis St. John with a big swing and a miss. As you can see, Connor Seabold is really pitching well as he now faces off against Nick Castellanos, who crushes this one. High and deep in the left center field. See you tomorrow. This game is tied at 2. Nick Castellanos with number 42 on the season. He is red hot. Didn't he just hit his 39th home run in the Twins game? So that would imply that this is his 3rd home run in this series. Incredible stuff from Castellanos. Here in the 5th inning now. Nobody on, 2 away. A nice single here for Boston as they're continuing to hit the ball pretty well off of Framber Valdez, and I would assume this is probably Valdez's final inning. Runner trying to head to second. He is safe. Adley Rutschman unable to gun him down now. And then that'll bring up Ben Game, a 1-2 pitch. Weekly grounds this one to the pitcher. Valdez will tag the runner himself, so Framber Valdez gets out of the inning. Score remains tied at 2 as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning where the Orioles are going to try to get this lead back. Max Muncy going to lead this inning off, and he's going to go Oppo Popo. Deep in the left field, it stays in the ballpark, but it will bounce off the tippy top of the fence. And that'll be a double for Muncy. Baltimore starts feeding off of a runner in scoring position, so there's no excuse not to drive in that runner here. Now Muncy is at third, 90 feet away from home for Jalen Miller. And this one is going to be hit to short. Bogaerts, will he make the play? He does, but run does score. So a successful at bat there for Jalen Miller as he drives in a run. And the Baltimore Orioles will make it 3-2. Valdez will stay in the game here in the 6th inning, and that proves to be a big mistake. The leadoff batter, Xander Bogaerts, goes deep in the left center field, and this one is now tied at 3. 2 back-and-forth games in this episode, and I think the Orioles realized, yeah, we probably should not have kept Framber Valdez in. Travis Lakins will enter out of a bullpen for his 14th appearance of the season as an ERA barely above 1 at 1.08, really playing some good baseball this season, but his day does not start off overly strong as Rhys Hoskins hits that one into left field. The third baseman unable to make the play. That was Max Muncy. So Hoskins is aboard. Nobody out, by the way. Just keep that in mind. As that'll bring up Alex Verdugo. Launches this one into right center. It bounces in front of the wall. Hoskins rounding third, headed home. The throw from the cutoff man long is definitely not in time. So a run scores. RBI double by Alex Verdugo, who is fired up at second base, and it is now 4-3. Red Sox don't look done. Martinez singles into left field. Verdugo holds up at third. But nonetheless, the Red Sox have runners on the corners. Still nobody out for Tristan Casas, who hits this one into right field. This one should be caught, and it will. But it'll be an easy sacrifice fly opportunity. And the Red Sox will make it a 5-3 lead. Boston has driven 3 runs in here in that inning. So a successful frame for Boston. Carl Edwards Jr. checks in for the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 6th inning as the Orioles try to get back in this ball game. They know they want to clinch this playoff spot today. They don't want to worry about it later. Louis St. John lines this one in the left center field. That should go for extra bases. One of the most underrated aspects about St. John's game is his speed. He's a really good base stealer. He's really fast, showing it on that play as he heads to second with ease. 2 away now for Xavier Bowman. Does not have a hit yet today, and it looks like that will hold the form here. A weak pop fly into center. It's caught by Verdugo. So St. John is unable to score. It remains 5-3. Travis Lakins is still in the game for the Orioles. Kind of odd, considering he had a pretty bad inning. He does strike out Whit Merrifield to open up the 7th. 2 away now, runner on for Hoskins. And this one is going to be grounded to short. Jalen Miller, really tough play. The throw is in time. What a throw it short by Jalen Miller. So the decision to keep Lakins in does pay off. One of the bottom of the 7th. James Pazos, the lefty, is in for the Red Sox. He's got a nice mustache, and he's having a pretty solid season. Heston Kjerstad will open things up for the Orioles today. Does not have the base hit in this ball game. That's going to change here as Xander Bogaerts cannot dive and make the play. So Kjerstad is aboard with a single. Can this be what starts the Baltimore rally? As that'll now bring up Max Muncy. And Muncy crushes this one into right field. That one will go off the wall. Probably a home run if it's a little bit to the left. Muncy is barely safe at second. Kjerstad at third. So both lefties get big hits off of the lefty, James Pazos. And now there's runners in scoring position. A major opportunity here for Carmen Sixto to put the Orioles back in the ball game as this one is flown into right, into foul territory. Alexander Palma makes the play, but the Orioles do score a run off the sac fly. If I was Palma, I would have not tried to catch that ball because there's no way he's going to be able to make that throw. So it is now 5-4. Boston makes a pitching change there. Kind of odd timing, but I guess they really wanted Pazos out of the game. And it'll be the fellow lefty, Darwinzion Hernandez, who enters. First batter is Jalen Miller. That one is down the line and fair for Miller. The left fielder has trouble getting to it. Miller on his horse, rounded second, headed to third. The throw is not in time. An RBI triple for Jalen Miller, his 8th of the year. And this game is tied up at 5. Huge hit from Miller. Shed long, big swing and miss. Wow, that is a huge out for the Red Sox. They needed that one. And now a base hit is the only way the Orioles are probably going to drive in this run. It's Adley Rutschman, hitless today as he bloops this one into shallow right. Hoskins makes the play, but a great inning there for the Baltimore Orioles as they score 2 runs and tie it at 5. On to the 8th inning, Amir Garrett is in for Baltimore. Had a rough month of August after being acquired at the deadline from the Reds, but he has pitched a lot better here in September as he gets J.D. Martinez to go down looking on the blazing 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That pitch was actually kind of slow for Amir Garrett, if we're being honest. Tristan Casas then strikes out. Lefty-on-lefty crime there. Good inning for Garrett. Going to try to get the hat trick on Luis Campusano. And he does, as he gets Campusano to go down on the slider. Game remains tied at 5. We'll see if the Orioles can do some damage here in the bottom of the 8th and take the lead here against Josh Taylor. We've seen a lot of lefties on both teams today pitch, which is kind of interesting. Xavier Bowman up with 2 away, full count pitch. Here is Xavier Bowman looking for his first hit of the game, and he's going to get that as it stays in the ballpark, but it will bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. Bowman extends his hitting streak to 6. Hey, he's only like 50 away from Joe DiMaggio, right? He's totally going to break that. Heston Kjerstad going to try to drive him in. That one is hit high. somewhat deep into left field, but not deep enough. It will be caught. So going into the 9th inning, this game is tied up at 5. Will either side get a run across in the 9th, or could this game be headed to extra innings? Exact same numbers in the box score. 5 runs for both teams, 10 hits, no errors. Alex Colomé is in for the Orioles, his 39th appearance of the season with an ERA hovering just above 4. 2 gone here for Ben Gamel, who's a couple hits today. Going to try to make it a third. That's not going to happen, as Shed Lawn will catch the line out. So a good 1-2-3 inning from Colomé as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Will the Orioles walk it off to send them into the postseason officially, or will be needing extra innings? Rico Garcia is in for Boston. He has not had a great season with an ERA above 6, so it's kind of odd that they're putting him in this position. Max Muncy leads things off, and this one will go into left field for a base hit. Good start. The Orioles would take Muncy out for a pinch runner, so Ivan Cortes Jr. will enter the game. You'd think as a pinch runner, but as you'll see, that's not the case. Christian Robinson enters to run, and Ivan Cortes Jr. enters as a pinch hitter. A very odd decision by manager Carlos Fables to have Cortes up at the plate here, and that decision backfires in a major way. His 2-strike bunt goes foul. Jalen Miller would then reach first on a fielder's choice, so that brings up Shed Lawn with 2 away. Hits this one nicely in the left center field. That one's going to drop for extra bases. Miller on his horse, rounding third, headed to home, and the Baltimore Orioles will walk it off. They have clinched a playoff spot. Jalen Miller with the winning run. Shed Lawn is the hero with the walk-off double. He is fired up. These players know what this game means for the Orioles. And for the 2nd straight season, Baltimore, no matter what happens in the final 10 games of the year, the Orioles will be in the postseason. Clutch hitting there from Shed Lawn with 2 away, his 3rd double of the ball game. Great base running by Jalen Miller, who was on his horse there that entire time. Wow, what a game, what an ending. The Orioles have now won 7 in a row as they sweep their division rival Boston Red Sox. A thriller down to the wire here. Just an unbelievable game, an unbelievable ending. You certainly want to have fireworks as you clinch a playoff spot, and that's exactly what we were treated to today. So a really fun win here for the Orioles as we simulate their next 2 series, 3 against Philadelphia and 3 against Oakland. We are currently now tied with Toronto for first place in the division, slowly but surely making up some ground. And as you can see, the letter X is there. That means we are officially in. So we're going to simulate these next 2 series, going up to the Toronto series, which we all know that's probably going to decide who wins the division. So we swept Philadelphia, but we only took 1 against Oakland. So we went 4-2, which is fine, but the Blue Jays went 5-1. So entering our final 3 games of the year, the Blue Jays are 1 game ahead of us. So that means we can clinch the division here, but in order to do so, the only way we can do it is either sweeping them or winning 2 of 3, which would tie us and send us to a game 163. If Toronto wins the series, they clinch the division, and we will only make the playoffs as a wild card, which would be unfortunate considering how good of a season it's been. We had the 2nd best record in the American League. I believe we have the 3rd best record in baseball, so we cannot have a wild card spot. We need to win this series. We need to win the division and put fate in our own hands entering the postseason. So that'll end today's episode. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Next episode is going to be one of the most anticipated and exciting yet. The final 3 games of the season. We're going to play all 3 of them, and it should be a lot of fun. Peace out.